Welcome back to episode 3 of the Barbershop Boxing Blog with me, your host, John Lancaster from J. Lancaster Photos and Mayan Films, and my co-host,
Angel Rivera from AA Diamond Cuts, Park Slope, Brooklyn.
All right. Last episode we left off stating that we were going to speak about Pacquiao and Marquez's upcoming fight. And before that, we're briefly going to discuss the interview between Larry Merchant and Floyd Mayweather. Do you want to touch upon the interview first?
Yeah, I just had to say about Larry Merchant. He doesn't give anybody a fair shot at speaking on their behalf, and that just don't go on with the conversation that he had a few days ago with Floyd Mayweather. That just goes on in history as other fighters. So, like I said, Larry Merchant picks and chooses his fighters that he wants to speak to, and let them talk on the experience they had. But certain fighters he don't let speak, and I just don't like that. Just don't like it.
Right. Yeah, well, everything should be fair. And once Floyd mentioned Pacquiao is sung the praises. Pacquiao fought De La Hoya at a weight 147. De La Hoya didn't make it around 12 years, but when he fought Mayweather, he made Mayweather come in like 150 or something, use bigger gloves and a smaller ring. He let Pacquiao choose everything. When Mosley was after he beat Margarito, they said this guy's he looked incredible. When Mayweather fought him, they said, oh, Mosley's washed up. Then when Pacquiao beat him, they lifted up as a trophy again.
But like I said, like I said, as we all boxing fans, we commentate, we could be judges, we could be referees. At the end of the day, we all have favorite fighters.
Well, in that light, I would say, well, he always builds up for good controversy. Then, because at the
at the end of the day, that's what he's there for. But at the end of the day, this is why I like Max Kellerman. He speaks the truth, and he always put doubts in people's mind, and always telling you direct.
Right,
Larry Merchant goes around the whole situation and throw a curveball at you, and then ask you a question that is not even have to do with the fight that just happened. He always asks you about the next fighter, or what you're gonna think about this, or what you're gonna think about that.
It would seem like a question that would be asked purposely to get someone upset. It's like those kind of questions.
But that's what he's there for, to get you upset, to make more of a controversy, and make everybody hyper and be like, yo, you see
he does ask those questions, and
but
if that's why he's there, I would say he's doing a good job in that aspect. He knows how to fuel the fire.
But at the end of the day, we, as boxing fans, we want to hear what the fighter has to say at the end of the day.
Also,
I wanted to see what Floyd had to say after the fight he fought Victor Ortiz, and all we heard was just an argument with him and Larry Merchant that he's gonna beat him up and he don't know to fire him. But we wanted to really know what was his next move.
Pacquiao Marquez 3. How do you think it plays out?
I see Pacquiao winning this fight, not because he showed us that he's the greatest, but Marquez already got a tone on him. He's been in rough fights, and he don't look as sharp as he when he first fought Pacquiao. I mean, he got a couple of beaten by certain fighters, and he just had the most recent fight was with I think Diaz. I think it was Diaz, or
I think he fought in Mexico once after he beat.
He fought in Mexico first, and then he fought Diaz. But after that, he don't look that impressive. He don't look like he used to look. I mean, he don't look like the Marquez we see him fight and brawl. He thinks more before he reacts. And I say Pacquiao is gonna take it. He's gonna stop him more or less like in the 4th, 5th round.
Wow. I think in this fight, to comment on something you said, it would take something pretty special to beat Manny Pacquiao. And if you're stating that Marquez isn't looking like anything spectacular, he could be in for a tough night.
He looks good, but not enough for a fighter like Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, an extreme fighter. Up there with him is Floyd Mayweather, and that's the only guy that I see being Manny Pacquiao. Other than any other fighters like Marquez, he's too slow. He's a brawler. Manny Pacquiao do circles around him, so I don't see it happening.
Well, the thing that built the controversy around Pacquiao is how do you go up in weight and somehow get faster? He's more muscular, and his knockout rate seems to increase. You couldn't come from. I understand from a point of view where some people may say, or you could have it where Floyd says, look at this guy's history. And it's not even about Floyd, but when some other boxers say, look at the guy's track record. He wasn't the best knockout puncher before. How was he stopping guys like Miguel Cotto?
Not just Miguel, he's fighting in a bigger class, bigger guys, stronger guys, and he's going through them like water. I mean, it's nobody stopping this guy. I mean, I'm not saying he's on something, but this it's not natural. I'm saying this is not a natural thing to happen.
When Roy Jones,
look at history, it's not happening.
Roy Jones went up in weight and he said, I could barely hurt these guys. Roy Jones had to beat everyone by points. When Pacquiao fought Joshua Clottey, which is a tough guy. Joshua Clottey was known as a tough guy. When he fought Clottey said, Clottey held his defense up throughout that whole fight. And he said, I've never been hit with power like that. Now, Clottey...
Mosley said the same thing.
Right. Mosley actually said Mayweather should make sure that Pacquiao gets tested.
Of course, because it's not normal. I mean, you're coming from a smaller weight division and coming up to the big boys division and defeating these guys like he's been there so long.
Yeah, like he's ruling.
And these guys been taking over this weight class so many years, and for some little guy to come up this weight class and take it over in a matter of 2 fights. Come on, he's clearing the whole from 140 to 154 division out.
Right,
and there's good fighters and big strong fighters there. I mean, I can't see it not happening with him not taking any type of supplements, anything.
I'd say, well, the two sides of that coin I see is where we can understand why someone would say, okay, is he on supplements? What is he taking? What is he doing? Now, the other side of that is, let's say everything is 100% legit. Pacquiao's a bad dude. If he's not on anything and everything is clear, and he does say, yeah, but I mean, if it's always at 50-50.
If is a big thing. It's still going to be in the back of your mind. Even if they don't catch him now, or 5 years from now, they catch him, or 10 years from now, they're going to be like, see, we knew it. But now is what we want to know. Because
because that's holding one of the biggest boxing fights up of just about of the millennium right now.
You see Floyd Mayweather's talent. I mean, his talent is speaks for itself. I mean, and he's willing to take every test you bring to the table.
Right, so it would be equal. Right.
Exactly, will be equal. But what I'm saying is, he's willing to take every test you bring to the table, so he could tell you that this is natural. This is a natural gifted kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not taking any type of supplement. But at the end of the day, why Pacquiao's not doing this? If he's such a boxer and he's destroying everybody in his way that's coming through his way, why he's scared to take the test?
I think right now with Pacquiao and Marquez has a tough time ahead of him, and Pacquiao has a lot to prove, because when Pacquiao, which is tied, he's like tied to Mayweather at the hip right now, because once you mention one, you mention the other.
Yes.
But when Pacquiao fought Marquez the first and second, they were, there was controversy about who won.
It could have went either way.
Right.
Exactly.
But now Mayweather, after almost a 2-year layoff, he came back.
21 months. That's basically 2 years.
He basically mopped the floor with Marquez. So Pacquiao was like kind of pressured to not just win by points, because Mayweather did that.
Yeah, but at the same time,
he's pressured to win by knockout now.
He's putting pressure. He's putting it in the corner and has to look impressive compared
to Mayweather's performance.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, now time frame, Pacquiao is young. I mean, he's what, 33, 34?
Yeah.
So is Marquez, but Marquez had a rougher record. His record shows more that he been in a war. He been in more wars than Pacquiao.
Right.
So, and putting that in years, he is older than Pacquiao. I mean, because he took in more beating in that. So, this is when he fought Marquez. It was like 2 years ago, right? Then he took off another 2 years, but then when he took off, when he fought Floyd, when Marquez fought Floyd, that was like 2 years ago. Now, he had to fight this guy. That's about 4 years in total that he's gonna fight.
He's getting older and older, right?
He's getting older. Like, exactly,
right.
He's getting
Time
older.
Gonna slow down
So this is why I'm saying that I see Pacquiao winning, because Marquez, not that he's old, but he's been abused. He's been in wars more, so he's wearing down. So it's not gonna be the same Marquez as 3 years ago.
Trying to calculate everything.
You're looking at two fighters that like to start fast.
Right.
These ain't slow fighters. They start earlier. You're gonna see the first round they're gonna throw punches at each other. The second round they're gonna try to kill each other. And this is why I'm trying to tell you that it ain't gonna go past 6. I say the fight gonna end at the 5th round, but it's not past 6.
And that means we have an explosive fight on our hands.
Exactly.
That's something to look forward to.
This is another episode of
Barbershop Boxing Blog.
And like I said, we have to have Max Kellerman on this job for the next fight.
Again, I'm your host, John Lancaster from J Lancaster Photos and Mayan Films, and my co-host
is Angel Rivera from A&E Diamond Cards, Brooklyn and Park Slope.
All right, we'll see you next episode.